Just when you thought YoungBoy was trying to get his life right for his kids, he comes out and does some absolutely disrespectful stuff. At first, it'd be easy to assume that after he got out on bail for a pending trial, he'd be on his best behavior. But no such luck. Just a few months into spending his time on house arrest in Utah, he's already starting beef he really has no need to start. See, YoungBoy recently dropped a track ahead of his next mixtape, Colors, and let's just say that Oblock is not happy about the whole thing. See, YoungBoy is loosely affiliated with Lil Tim and Quando Rondo's crew, the people implicated in King Von's death. King Von started some stuff with Lil Tim in Atlanta after a show, and we all know how that ended with Von's death. Tim got picked up by police, but after that, he got released on a $100,000 bond. Ever since then, Lil Tim and Quando Rondo have been on Insta flexing the fact that, as of now, Lil Tim got out of everything with nothing more than an ankle bracelet. To make matters worse for the whole crew from Oblock, there's a really good chance that Lil Tim will get out on self-defense. Now that's just a little bit of background on why YoungBoy would have beef with Oblock in the first place. That beef got a whole lot bigger after his recent track though, with Oblock releasing a whole video in retaliation. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and get into what exactly YoungBoy said on this new track, Bring the Hook. Is it really that bad? Or is the internet tripping over something that shouldn't have been blown up so big? The big lines in the track that are really getting people talking are, Oblock pack get rolled up, what they told us, Atlanta boy get fold up. These bitches throwing up green flags, throwing that NBA up, for me, set you up to bust your ass. Be honest, those bars are pretty aggressive, and they're obviously dissing Oblock and King Von directly. Calling out one of the most bloodthirsty squads really isn't a good look, especially with how YoungBoy has been rapping recently. Then, to make things worse, it's obvious that Atlanta boy get fold up is talking about how King Von got in Atlanta. The whole thing is just beyond disrespectful. While these lyrics are pretty bad, the whole song is nasty for real. There are even some other lines in the song that, if you ask me, are elaborating on the whole situation. Say my name, get slayed for it. I ain't playing with your hoe. You know I'm coming anywhere. Like, why the f you say that? You know I'm dying anywhere. I bet they say I blew my pistol. I bet they say I took one with me. While the other lines are more directly about Oblock and King Von, these lines, more or less, seem like they're trying to predict the backlash that's going to come from the track online. It almost seems like the fact he talked about this ahead of time was just a way to let people know that he was well aware of what he was doing. But why? Why is he about to stir up all this beef that he really doesn't need to be a part of in the first place? To make the whole situation weirder, bro is on house arrest, so like, what's he gonna do anyway? There are two possible explanations for why YoungBoy is moving the way he's moving, and neither of them are exactly great. The most common interpretation of what YoungBoy is doing is that he's just trying to build hype. A lot of people think that this is just setting up industry beef that isn't gonna leave the realm of raps. Durk might come back with a diss when he finally releases his next album, but he's not gonna bring the whole thing onto the streets. YoungBoy's on house arrest anyway, so it's not like he's about to slide on anyone from Oblock. Then again, it's kind of scary that NBA YoungBoy is talking like he has nothing to lose. It almost sounds like he thinks he's not about to beat his charges. And since he knows he's done anyway, he's about to start some of the biggest beef he can imagine. Because why not, if he thinks he's already gonna go away for life? It really could go either way. But at the same time, it's like, if you just wanted to pull a little bit of clout for the release of Colors, why would you go after literally one of the biggest fish in the ocean? Like Oblock and Durk in specific are known for not letting things like this fly. Why would YoungBoy be calling out all of that smoke when there are other, better, safer ways to go about gassing the new album up? Saying that you're smoking on someone's pack is a mocking tribute to someone's death, because usually when one of your homies dies, you pour one out for him, or you pack a bowl up for them as memorial. YoungBoy is saying that he's doing that for an entire block. That's just not like a casual diss that you throw out. We gotta mention that Durk is a major player in this whole thing. Both he and Lil Reese were doing a whole bunch of talking after King Von, and in almost any other situation, Quando Rondo, or at least Lil Tim himself, would have already got for doing something like what they did to King Von. There's been a lot of talk on the internet about the fact that no one slid on him either. Maybe NBA YoungBoy is applying pressure so they'll finally do something about the whole thing, as a kind of challenge or something like that. Now, I don't know. That's just some speculation on my part, but a lot of people think that this whole thing has been allowed to go too far. So anyway, there's been, at the very least, a little bit of retaliation after a pretty huge group from Oblock released a video in retaliation towards YoungBoy.
It is what it is. What he said. We spent them niggas talking about everything.
A ton of people in the video are shown rapping, spitting on, stomping on, and burning green flags. The green bandana is an important part of NBA YoungBoy's look, associated with 4KT, the name of YoungBoy's crew. And if we look back at the lyrics to the track that NBA YoungBoy rapped on the diss track, he goes on to talk about how all his fam is holding up green flags. While Oblock is heating everything up, Lil Durk knows that he's an important piece of the puzzle here, whether he likes it or not. Recently, right after the YoungBoy track came out, he went live on Insta showing a big portrait of his homie King Von, along with some huge stacks of money. He didn't really say much, but he also isn't really the type for sneak disses and beefing on socials like that. The caption was, "Don't claim it if you ain't do it, you still a bitch." Seems like the whole thing was definitely a shot at YoungBoy, because from Durk's point of view, he really had no reason to be talking like that if he wasn't even involved in the situation in the first place. But this situation is a lot confusing. On the tracks before the release of Bring the Hook, his oblock diss, he seemed like he wanted to do better for his kids. On Sincerely Kentrell, his album from September of 2021, most of the tracks were about how he couldn't be running around the way he used to because he has 4 kids, and there's no way he's about to leave them without a father. The album was released from prison and broke records. Maybe he just got all sentimental because he had a lot of time to think in prison. Maybe as soon as he got out, that street life just had such a firm grip on him that he got pulled right back in. Fans are going wild about the whole thing on Twitter though, because I'm sure that there are about to be some big opinions on this stuff. One user said, "People have been talking about some smoking Tuka for a good 10 years. As soon as this guy say he's smoking oblock pack and dissing Von, everyone start pissing their panties." Hypocritical. To be specific here, the dude who was talking about smoking Tuka was King Von, and that's probably a big reason that the ops were all over him. Another fan on Twitter just simply said, "This man be beefing with everybody and they mama." What do y'all think? Is YoungBoy out of pocket on this one? Let us know down in the comments. And if you still can't get enough hot hip-hop news, you need to for sure peep this next video.